Hi, I'm Sherry from I Love Italian Movies, and I want to make sure everybody knows about the film Fuocoammare, Fire at Sea, the one that Italy has chosen to represent it at this year's Academy Awards. It is a beautiful documentary, and although some have said that they feel that maybe a documentary should not have been chosen, Paolo Sorrentino said, although it is a beautiful film, maybe it would have done better in the documentary section, not the best foreign film section. But we'll see. Gianfranco Rosi has already proved himself to be a winner. He was the first documentary film maker to win the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival for his film Sacro Gra. It's about the big highway that circles Rome. They call it the GRA, Gra, Sacro Gra, and it's a really cool film about the colorful people that live around that highway. It's hard to find in the United States, unfortunately, but if you ever get a chance, see that one. This one, the new one, Fuocoammare, the one that's going to the Oscars, has a totally different tone. It has an urgent message for the world. It's about illegal immigration, and that is a really hot button issue in Italy as well as the United States. So it should really strike a chord here for us. In Italy, it's affecting everybody in a totally different way than it's affecting us here in the United States. We have this debate going on here, who deserves to be in this country, who belongs here. And in Italy, they're just still trying to figure out how to save the lives of the people that are arriving. There's a little island called Lampedusa, and that's what this film is about. And it's kind of a gateway into Europe, actually, because all of these boat people arrive on desperate situations, from perilous situations at sea. And the people in Lampedusa, doctors and fishermen and residents, just try to save their lives. Politics will come later. These men and women will have to be absorbed into an already troubled Europe, or they're going to have to be sent back to their troubled homelands. But that's going to be a problem for later. In this film, it just shows what happens to them when they arrive. As one resident said, if we don't help them, who will? And there is kind of a fisherman's code, you know. We know from watching other films that they can't. It's their duty to save these people. If somebody's in trouble at sea, it's their duty to help them. So Rosie leaves the politics to the politicians and shows us the horrifying reality of overcrowded boats, a frantic SOS call from one that's sinking, and a medical doctor describing the unimaginable number of dead and dying that he deals with on a regular basis. Fuocoammare seems almost a narrative film, with the locals playing the parts of sympathetic onlookers and aid givers, eloquently talking about their lives on the island and in ways that no script could have ever done justice for the story. Young Samuele, for example, a happy and adventurous boy, doesn't understand the anxiety he's feeling, and his doctor does. When housing meant for 800 immigrants often accommodates 3,000, and the entire population of the island is 6,000, everyone is affected by that. Rosie is such an admirable documentary filmmaker, my favorite kind, the kind that shows us without manipulating our emotions, as many do, and not seeming to care about what your position is. He just wants you to take a look at what's going on. It reminds me of being a child, growing up in the Vietnam War era. We used to watch that all playing out on TV and the body bags, and before that TV, we were able to kind of ignore it, but when they started showing us actually what was happening, it was harder to ignore. I think that's what Rosie wants us to do now with this film. Just look at it and form your position. I understand what's happening, because it's not just affecting Lampedusa. It's not just affecting Italy. It's affecting all of Europe and, in effect, all of us in the whole world. Rosie told me that the jury at Venice, headed by Bernardo Bertolucci, voted for Sacro Gra unanimously, and that no other nominated film was even seriously considered for the Golden Lion Award. He said that Bertolucci said that he loved that film, Sacro Gra, because it was a film with no judgment, and a trait that Rosie feels has become too rare in documentary films, particularly American ones, from filmmakers like Michael Moore. He told me that he wasn't a big fan of Michael Moore and said that everybody wants to be a little Michael Moore. He told me he didn't want to be that kind of filmmaker. He wanted to capture the positive elements in the world. Fuocoammare has been nominated for a European Film Award, and as well as being the film that's being sent to the Oscars for the if you want to judge for yourself, see for yourself, and I hope you do. It will begin a limited screening engagement here in the United States on October 21st. We'll be here to tell you the dates and the times and all the details as soon as we learn them. I highly recommend you see this film and enter into the discussion for a film that's already touched so many around the world. That's it for now. Let me know what you think of Fuocoammare after you see it, and ciao. Ci vediamo dopo. Ciao.